You wanna move?
Let's try.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we continue with our new season of Emergency Teachings, Season 3, Episode 2. Our teaching today addresses the breaking news from the Israeli Knesset, and I quote their statement, "America may no longer be Israel's bitch." Join our illustrious panel of experts, the hosts of the podcast Three Arabs and, which will probably never be recorded, in addressing this important and timely topic. Sinan Antoon, our cultural landscape expert, Adel Iskander, our media landscape expert, and myself, Bassam Haddad, our social science expert. Welcome Adel and Sinan and myself to our regularly scheduled emergencies. Folks, we are living in dangerous and despicable times that threaten the handover of our hard-earned tax dollars to Israel. I know. This is unfathomable. Who's going to help Israel inflict its ethno-supremacist democracy? Enforce its apartheid rule, support infrastructure for fanatic Israeli settlers in the West Bank who make ISIS look like kindergarten kids? Who's going to fund Israel's genocide? And who will protect the Israeli Knesset and courts that preside over substantive Israeli debates about whether routine raping of Palestinian detainees is okay?
בפרקליטות חושב שאפשר לבוא ולעצור חיילים על דברים שעושים למחבלי נוח'בה, לא נגמר. להמשיך כרגיל.
להכניס מקל לרקטום של בן אדם, זה לגיטימי?
כן, אם הוא נוח'בה, הכל לגיטימי לעשות לו.
אוקיי.
הכל.
מצוין.
הכל.
זה מה שרציתי.
הכל, האנשים האלה, אתה יודע מה עשו?
אוקיי.
טוב.
יש דברים שלא עושים.
Not only is the thought that America will not bow and jump at the behest of Israel's ethno-supremacy is jarring to our conscience, it is a resounding failure of Western values and yes, Nam, an indictment of Western Teezilization as a whole. What to do? How can we all live in good conscience in a world where the United States is no longer Israel's bitch, in the words of Israeli Knesset members? The world is in tears. And who's going to lead the charge? Young Christian conservatives?
I'd like to ask about your father's relationship with Israel. He's taken over $230 million from pro-Israel groups. During the summer against Iran, even though he advised against it, Israel still attacked Iran and the U.S. still bombed on behalf of Israel. Your father's frustrations with Netanyahu have been made clear when he cursed on national TV over the situation. Israel has not been a great ally to the U.S. all the way since 1960 when they bombed the USS Liberty. Israel is a nation where Christians are constantly under attack in both Gaza and the West Bank. We talk about America first and defending Christians, but how can we do this if we align ourselves with a nation that does not do that itself?
There's no question my father's had frustration. In fact, I think he's had frustration throughout the whole conflict with both sides. At the same time,
in response to the nukes from Iran, Israel has nuclear weapons and is not a part of the IAEA, unlike Iran. And it's just sad to see because I've never seen the American president get treated the way he does by the Israeli government.
Now, to be sure, 3 caveats to keep in mind. We naturally object to the misogynist words used by the Knesset, but we will entertain the usage for the sake of authenticity in reporting. Having said that, also like you, we are not sure who is whose bitch. In quotation marks, of course, always. The US is the greatest superpower in human history. Are we really Israel's bitch? Come on. Look at our history. We are perfectly capable of being an independent bitch. who under certain circumstances likes to be somebody else's bitch. I mean, have you met Randy Fine, Lindsey Graham, or Jonathan Greenblatt? Or even Cory Booker? Third, also, for those who are happy about the new pushback from the America First crowd, don't celebrate just yet. Have you met some of these people or heard what they have said now and especially in the past? It's not always a pretty sight. Sure, they are not all the David Duke variety, but they are also a far cry from France Fanon. يعاد افتتاح المحضر. Adel, as our media landscape expert, why don't you opine on this topic?
Thank you, Bassam, and I shall opine. The Knesset's worry about America no longer being Israel's bitch is a legitimate concern. The B word might sound very intense, suggestive of subordination, servitude, enslavement, humiliation, gendered insult, and extreme offense. But I'd like to warn you, the problem is even more sinister. Mamdani was elected mayor of New York. Ramadan Mubarak, everyone! The mass exodus of Zionists from this once safe haven is happening as we speak. Epstein files revealing deep connections to Israel. Candace Owens' fixation that Israel assassinated Charlie Kirk. Marjorie Taylor Greene cannot stop saying that word, the G word. Yes, genocide. She's hitting ADL's G-spot once a day and twice on weekends. Tucker Carlson has spent more time on air speaking to critics of Israel than CNN has in the last 2 years. His obsession with AIPAC is out of control, completely out of control. All those Hollywood celebrities signing petitions to boycott Israel, even Javier Bardem. No mames. The Heritage Foundation, that bastion of conservative pro-Israel positions, is literally eating itself alive as we speak. And let's not forget the outrageously anti-Israeli horrors expressed by Miss Rachel. Yes, Miss Rachel. Indoctrinating kids against Zionism from their mere infancy. It is utterly sickening. And she won Woman of the Year award at the Glamour magazine a couple of days ago. These days, it feels like the sky is falling over Tel Aviv. I understand. But don't let that fool you. This does not change the special relationship between the US and Israel after all. These freakish incidents are just a drop in a bucket. Sure, it feels abrasive, but it's all in the spirit of fun and games. Carlson, Owen, Green, they're all just having a good time. What's a little poke here and there? A little poking. Think of it as like play wrestling with your kids, or getting a little worked up in a game of Fortnite or Halo. We did not smash the controller after all. It's all going to be okay.
Thank you, Adel. Sinan, what is your view on the Knesset's announcement?
Thank you, Bassam. Thank you, Adel. Look, dystopia is so overused nowadays, but we are in dystopia. I feel it today because of AI. No, not artificial intelligence. AI, America, Israel. Now, all these evil activists and globalists who want to violently separate A from I in words and in deeds, how dare they? To them I say what I read in the Bible. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. It would be an abomination to sever the sacred bond. And the apocalyptic signs are all around us. An angry Muslim whose last name, Mamdani, Edamami, Hamadani, Shabmami, no one knows that. His last name, most white people will never be able to pronounce correctly and will dislocate their jaw when they finally do. He is mayor of New York, a mayor who brazenly said in the debate that he wouldn't visit Israel and would stay here in New York. Now, is the Bronx more important than Beersheba, and other cities? Where are his priorities? Avigdor Lieberman, ex-nightclub bouncer turned full-time Israeli minister, put it best. He said the big apple has fallen, and it has. New York, he said, elected the poster boy for the silent jihad. and he urged New York Jews who want to survive to immigrate to where they belong, the land of Israel. Now, Lieberman knows how to maintain a safe, inclusive, family-oriented country for everyone. Back in 2015, for example, he said that Israeli Arabs disloyal to the country, quote, deserve to have their heads chopped off with an axe. In 2001, he advocated bombing the Aswan Dam in Egypt. But don't worry about that. The problem really is just Netanyahu. Once he's out of office, everything will be back to being nice and dandy. And Mr. Lieberman and other peaceniks will fight hard for peace in the land of peace. Thank you.
Again, look, this is a satirical show. I know. But the truth is, so many of us cannot hide our deep pleasure, not at the fact that Israel has lost America or is losing it. Even The Economist said it. And frankly, we're a far cry from this happening completely. Rather, we cannot hide our pleasure at the meltdown we are witnessing among Israel supporters at the thought that Americans are no longer gripped by Israel's bullcrap narrative about itself. That shit no longer sticks. Here's a young man telling a standing U.S. Vice President, J.D. Vance, he is confused about why we owe Israel at all, and asking why we are supporting Israel's ethnic cleansing so much. Yikes.
I'm a Christian man, and I'm just confused why that there's this notion that we might have owe Israel something, or that they're our greatest ally, or that we have to support this multi-hundred-billion-dollar foreign aid package to Israel to cover this, to quote Charlie Kirk, ethnic cleansing in Gaza.
It is as though the sky is falling. I have not seen this level of shock, destitution, and or depression for decades. And it's not about something that happened to America, God forbid, but about something happening to Israel. Folks, let's be clear. And if you know, you know. For many Israel supporters, this is worse than Pearl Harbor or 9/11. You don't buy it? Then pay attention. No other instance demonstrate this in full glory like every speaker at the Republican Jewish Coalition Annual Leadership Summit a week ago, which tried to monopolize all Jewish voices, but that's another matter.
How are we going to attack the Mandamis and the Talibs and the Omars and the Sanders and the rest of them when in our own house this poison is spreading? We've got to take care of business.
Nowhere is this more evident than in the unfortunate breaks and schisms within the right wing in America. The America First folks are daring to challenge the Israel First folks, and the Israel First crowd is calling all the America First crowd anti-Semitic. It's one thing when you call Palestinians anti-Semitic because they are criticizing Israel's genocide, but when you call right-wing Christian figures anti-Semitic, cowards, for not towing the line, you're fucked.
The cowards. We're surrounded by cowards who have microphones, who have TV cameras, who have websites, who have columns. Cowards. It's spelled C-A-R-L-S-O-N. It's spelled F-U-E-N-T-E-S. It's spelled O-W-E-N-S. It's spelled B-A-N-N-O-N. It's spelled Marjorie Trader Green. You can figure that out yourself. And they're not alone.
In fact, most ordinary Americans, including Jews, are repulsed. Israel Firsters label every person who joins the human chain and train one of these things, according to Mark Levin.
You don't get to wrap your psychotic, mental, unhinged, Nazi, Klan, jihadist bullshit around American patriotism. You don't get to claim you're MAGA and America first when you're lining up with the Marxists and the Islamists and Hamas and the terrorists. That's not America first. That's sick.
So if you are not on board with Israel's genocide, you are either an Islamist, a Marxist, or pro-Hitler. There's more. The implosion within the right between America and Israel firsts is fun to watch. Even the notorious right-wing Heritage Foundation is now Hamas.
For organizations like the Heritage Foundation, whose CEO stated that opposing Tucker's bigotry makes us some kind of venomous coalition, I was supposed to do an event with Heritage next week, I think on Wednesday. They don't know what I'm about to tell you. Right now, we're canceling it. They will have no future in my office, and I will be calling on all of my colleagues on the Republican side to do the same.
Israel firsters admit that they poured billions of dollars for Hasbara propaganda, but it's no longer working.
These aren't powerful people. Seriously? These aren't intelligent people. These are lowlives that have platforms. If we can't speak out against them and fight them, what good are we? Conservative institutions. We've been putting billions of dollars into conservative institutions for half a century. Now's the time.
It doesn't end. And it's all about what the Israeli Knesset fears. America may no longer be Israel's bitch. And when all else fails, bring out the good old Orientalist binaries orgy of words, as Mark Levin does right here.
We're talking about liberty versus tyranny, good versus evil, right versus wrong, democracy versus terrorism, Western Enlightenment versus 7th century barbarians.
Adel, any other thoughts on whether America will continue to be? Adel, any other thoughts on whether America may continue to be Israel's bitch?
Bassam, I want to tell you the situation is so disconcerting, but we need a level of measured calm. Okay? We cannot worry. For example, even if so many folks are divorcing Israel in the United States, or even elected officials threatening to arrest Netanyahu upon his arrival to New York, despite all of this stuff, the vast majority of leaders in the United States and Americans are bending over backwards and lubing up for Israel. Let me illuminate things for you. Lest we forget, some of the country's top billionaires, 26 billionaires in fact, 26 billionaires, gave more than $20 million to defeat anti-Zionist and anti-Israeli mayoral candidate, or now mayor, Zohran Mamdani. These include the who's who of Israel loyalists in the United States: Michael Bloomberg, Joey Gebbia of Airbnb, casino mogul Steve Wynn, Alice Walton of Walmart, the Lauder family, the Tisch family, the Bill Ackmans, Elizabeth Simons. Who the heck is Elizabeth Simons? $22.4 million of their hard-earned billions are spent in the service of Israel. What more do you want? What more do you want? Sorry, folks. Honestly, they put in so much and turned the election around. Como was down by 30 points. They cut the difference in half. Not bad, okay? Not bad. The ads showing New York going up in flames if Como loses were simply exquisite. Quality work. Depicting Mamdani as the Taliban in a suit is a perfect example of Hudson Yard's Hasbara at its best. Sheer brilliance. Alas, nevertheless, unfortunately, it wasn't enough. But don't be fooled. Israel did not lose. I mean, Cuomo didn't lose in New York because Americans now hate Israel's policies of annihilation, apartheid, assault, arrogance, arson. No, not at all. Israel lost in New York because those goddamn billionaires were too stingy to spend on Cuomo's campaign. When you do the math, and yes, I did the math for you, you're welcome. The net worth of all those billionaires combined is a whopping $384 billion. That is literally 63% of Israel's GDP in 2025. And they donated just $22 million. That's less than 0.000, I'm running out of zeros, 0.006% of their net worth. Those miserly, stinking billionaire bastards seem to have forgotten who's boss. Yeah?
تفي
تفي تفو هي تفي ولا
تفي
تفو؟ Those miserly, stinking billionaire bastards seem to have forgotten who's boss. In fact, these sick freaks should be taxed by Israel. Get that money before Mamdani does. Look at Alice Walton, the owner of Walmart, whose net worth is $115 billion. She only donated $200,000. Frankly, I'm utterly nauseated. Bibi should remind those arrogant, greedy, miserly, self-centered, penny-pinching, tight-ass, lunatic assholes that it is in this relationship that Israel is the boss. Israel is the pimp, bitches. I'm so sorry. I'm having a Mamdani meltdown.
Sinan, can you enlighten us?
Look, what you guys are saying, I mean, it is really scary. It is a scary moment when diehard white nationalists and MAGA folks are spewing anti-Israel rhetoric and blabbering about America first. Why? Would you, as an American, want to live in an America where elected politicians are reluctant to go to America's little stepchild, Israel, and hang out with soldiers fighting 24/7 to keep a genocide going? Do you want a political climate where they would be too scared or embarrassed to post selfies while they sign bombs made in the US of A before Israeli soldiers fire them against innocent civilians? Wouldn't you want your politicians to be who they are and do the right thing without fear of reprisals in the next election? People are complaining about politicians being bought by AIPAC. Do you want your elected officials to be rude people, assholes who refuse the generosity of an entity lobbying on behalf of a foreign country? Do you want an America where tax dollars are squandered on infrastructure or education and healthcare instead of buying beautiful weapons for Israel to use on children? Where is the fucking common sense? I don't get it.
To be sure, not all supporters of Israel are having a conniption. Some are just in disbelief, others are completely losing their shit. Based on invasive research, you can use the Israelo bitch meter to measure devotion to the racist state by observing how the word Israel is pronounced. Lindsey Graham is our litmus test. The trick is not to pronounce the A in Israel. So instead of Israel, it's Israel. Israel. Here's our litmus test.
The Republican Party has figured it out when it comes to Israel. We understand that Israel is a friend of America to the bitter end. We understand that God blesses those who bless Israel. Israel, 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 Israel.
Israel. There you go. The more complete the absence of the A, the more pro-Israel you are. Try it at home to find out where you stand on Israel.
Israel.
The audacity, the sheer audacity of putting America first ahead of Israel first. This country is going to shit, folks. Good people, what can we say in the end? The Israel first crowd in America is butthurt. Still, we all must thank the IDF and Israel for getting us here. No one else could have done it.
Those who hate Israel hate America. And the United States of America should say to that little nation, thank you, thank you, thank you.
trying.
Israel Israel
The Muslims? Who protects the holy sites in Israel? The Israeli police and military. Who protects the Christian sites in Israel? Really? Who protects the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Israel? Who protects the Jewish sites, the Christian sites, the Muslim sites, any holy site in the state of Israel? It's the Israelis. We don't need to pressure the Israelis to defend holy sites, including the Church of the Holy Sepulchre that has been protected since the state of Israel was founded from first the Jordanians, now the Palestinians. The Israelis protect the Christian sites. What's happened to Bethlehem? Who's in charge of Bethlehem? The Palestinians. It was 85% Christian. I blinked, and now it's 85% Palestinian, with the Christians being abused and forced out. How come I don't hear about pressuring them? Nothing. Tell me, who tries to protect the Christians in Syria? Who sends their armed forces into Syria to protect the Christians? We don't send the Marines in. We don't send NATO in. I don't see any international Arab community doing it. Do you? It's the Israelis who are protecting as many of the minorities in these countries as they can. Tell me, how many Jews are left in the Arab countries? How many Christians are left in the Arab countries? Who's committing genocide? Genocide. You want to talk about genocide? Ask the black Christians in Nigeria and the Congo and the Sudan about genocide. Hundreds of thousands of them slaughtered by the jihadi Islamists. Hundreds of thousands of them. Go on the internet. It's unimaginable how they're hanging these people, grabbing their little girls. It is horrendous. Tell me, who killed 600,000 Muslims in Syria? The jihadi Muslims killed 600,000 Muslims in Syria. Assad killed 600,000 Muslims in Syria. Who got rid of Assad? Netanyahu got rid of Assad. Lebanon just elected a Christian president. How the hell did that happen?
Israel